Say cheese, everybody.
Cheese.
I can't see anything. This sucks. I just see the light. This sucks. Okay, I'm gonna try to do it from here. Okay, so now all of you are gonna be on Instagram. And there you go. Cheese. You didn't say cheese. Okay, whatever. I'm not here alone. I'm also with Ariel Levy, one of the leads of the movie. Ariel, please come here. An applause for him. Oh, they can't. We have to hear Ariel. This is called, that's light. In Chile, we don't have lights. We're just, but we will get there. Like in candles. Yeah, we have candles. Like in 5 years from now, we're gonna have light and electricity. Well, the thing is that we're going back to Chile like in an hour from now, so we're not gonna have time to do the Q&A. So that's why we're doing the Q&A right now. And it's gonna be really cool because you haven't seen the movie. But Ariel watched the movie already, right? So Ariel, do you have any questions? Okay, wait. Well, Ariel, yes.
Tell us, Nicolas. How do you get to work with Eli Roth?
That's a very good question. Well, Eli was a really big fan of my first movie, a movie that was in Spanish that is called Promedio Rojo, that the literal translation will be bad grades, but everybody calls it Latin American Pie. And you can check it out on Netflix. And from that moment on, we started talking about doing something together, a movie, not having sex. And we talked about that also, but it was really, But the thing is that we ended up coming up with ideas, and we wanted to make a sci-fi movie. Then we started talking about making a haunted house movie, and suddenly there was an 8.8 earthquake in Chile. And from that point on, we were like, whoa, this could really be a movie. Is there another question? Ariel, yes.
You was in Chile during the earthquake? How was the experience?
I were in Chile. Yeah, I was in Chile during the earthquake. It was really terrifying. It was with Ariel, we shot a trilogy of romantic comedies. The first part is called Fuck My Life. The second part is called Fuck My Wedding. And now we just wrapped the third part that is called Fuck My Family. And it's true, like, Fuck My Family is playing on HBO now. And it's called Fuck My Life. But the thing is that that was the first day of shooting of Fuck My Life. And we were sleeping. And that was a weird thing because the earthquake happened the last weekend of summer at 3:34 a.m. And everybody was partying. So I was sleeping and Ariel was partying because he's a drunk guy. But he's an actor, so he likes to party. My director was focused. And suddenly, in Chile, we're very used to tremors. Like, they happen all the time. Like, Chile is very similar in a way to LA, where we have tremors all the time. And I was sleeping, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't care. Then it started getting hardcore, and it didn't stop. I didn't stop. And suddenly, I watched my Nintendo Wii. Like, my Nintendo Wii flew across the room, like that. Like, and I was like, oh my god, like this is fucking serious. So I opened the door, like, of my apartment, and from there you can see the Santiago is the capital of Chile, and from there you could see the whole skyline. And suddenly all the sky turned white. There were like electrical explosions. So suddenly it was in the middle of nuclear war. And I remember that I looked and like really close to me there was my neighbor, and he was hugging his wife that was 8 months pregnant, and the earthquake didn't stop. And suddenly, like, this movie talks a lot about the randomness of life. That suddenly you're doing a Q&A, you're having fun, and in the middle of it there is a fucking earthquake, and everything changed for real. And I remember that I called my girlfriend at the time. And she was in Valparaiso, and that's where we shot the movie. That Valparaiso is very close to the coast. And suddenly, when I could connect with her, she was like, "I'm okay. Don't worry. When I'm running to the hills." Like, why are you running to the hills? Because there is a tsunami alert. I was like, "Okay, but are you fine?" Shh. And 4 hours of silence. And suddenly, like for us, it started as a joke because like my generation is very cynic and we like to laugh about everything and everything ended up being a meme on the internet. But suddenly it was like a real thing. Like I was in the middle of a real catastrophe. So I got into my car, I turned on the AM radio, that was the only thing that was working, and I was listening that there was a tsunami alert, I was listening how many people died, and I was like, this is really horrible. Ariel was at a club, Ariel can tell, Ariel, you have a funny story about the earthquake. Is that true?
Yeah, I don't think it's funny, but I was dancing in a party, and suddenly the earthquake begins. I was drunk, so I didn't notice. But suddenly, the disco ball fell right to a guy that was dancing next to me. I know it sounds funny, but he was a friend of mine. He's an actor, and he was on a coma for like 2 months. So that teaches all of us a lesson as a country, you know, all that fucking carpe diem bullshit, like you should take that for real. Because at 3:32 you're dancing and drinking, and at 3:35 you're running for your life. That's how it was.
Yeah, so it was pretty horrifying, and from that point on we were like, I talked with Eli about it, and I was like, you could do two things here. You could make like an Oscar movie about it, or you could make a horrifying horror thriller. And we said that the second thing was funnier. But it was really hardcore because at the end of the day, it's all about the randomness of life. That it's like we were very inspired by Hitchcock and the movie and The Birds, the movie. Because like suddenly you're having fun and suddenly you have a fucking bird in your eye, you know, trying to kill you. It's the same thing but with the earth. And what's really scary is that if there is a guy with a hockey mask trying to kill you, that's hard, you know, that something like that could happen in reality. But that the Mother Nature, you know, gets crazy and tries to kill you, you know, yeah, let's read about the movie. But that could happen. And it was really scary. Like there was Lorenza Iso, that is one of the actors of the movie, was at a party too, and one of his friends got his hand cut off. Like, and she was at a club, and that was the thing, you know. And also something that is really interesting is that Chile is a very modern city. It's very similar. It could be LA, it could be Toronto. You know, everybody's on Twitter, everybody's on Facebook, and everybody's really connected. And our generation, and we discovered that our generation didn't know anything, you know, that we couldn't do anything without our cell phones. You know, like the only thing that were working at the time were the landline phones, and I tried to call my mom, and I was like, I don't know her number. You know, then I tried to drive to a friend's house, and I was like, my GPS is not working. You know, like when the cell of my battery died, I didn't know how to do anything. And I discovered, of course, that I was really dumb, but then I discovered that most of my generation was really dumb. Because we're so used to get information right away, we're so used to being aware of everything, and suddenly we didn't have information about anybody who was alive, you know, who was around, what to do, you know, nobody had a flashlight, like all our iPhones ended up being flashlights. You know, that was the ultimate use for our iPhones, you know, a very expensive flashlight. So, I'm buying the new iPhone, it will be a really cool flashlight. So well, thanks for coming. And we want to thank the Dimension Film that they just bought the movie. We're really happy with that. So this movie is going to have a really great release. And this is the second time that we're showing the movie to a wide audience. So it's very important, like extremely important, that if you like the movie, please tweet about it. Okay? No, like for real. Like this is the moment where we need you. Because the theater owners are gonna notice the movies you tweet. Like when the movie played at Midnight Madness last Tuesday, it ended up being trending topic in Canada for 2 hours. And that was something really big because suddenly the distributor company was like, okay, we bought a movie that people are actually gonna see, you know, we don't have to release it direct to DVD. So now you have the power. Now you have the power that if you like the movie, you can support it. It's all about you now. Like the rules of the game changed. So now the audience can choose what they want to see on the big screen. So if you really like this movie, please endorse it. And if you don't like it, please don't tweet anything. Like, don't tweet anything at all. We don't need those tweets, okay? And so please use the hashtag Aftershock, or you could use the hashtag Nicolas Lopez has a big cock. You know, both work. Hashtag Chileans are hot. No. But whatever. Don't use the first hashtag. The second hashtag is too long. In any way or shape. So please enjoy the movie, and you are in for a ride. This is gonna be a terrifying ride, and I hope that you enjoy it. Thanks.